Outfront now Republican governor from Arkansas, Asa Hutchinson. And Governor, I appreciate your time. Thank you for coming on. So, look, you got hit with this storm, some parts of your state, not as hard as others. But, just that image that I showed there. Why is there such a difference in terms of what we're seeing and hearing from the ground? We don't have people lining up for water in your state. We don't have the power outages. And on something so basic as paving a road, you managed to pave the roads.
Well, we've been hit with a very severe storm. We've got 12 inches of snow on the ground. We've had record low temperatures in Arkansas, freezing. This is very unexpected. And we had a challenge with our regional energy transmission as well, but we managed our way through it. Part of it is that we're in a multi-state compact, and where our regional energy transmission is combined with the flow of many different states, that we work together to make sure we can cover the high usage areas and that we can meet demand. We still had challenges, and I think there's a number of lessons that we're learning from this. We've got to diversify our energy sources. We've got to make sure it's weatherized, because much of our natural gas comes from Texas. And so when they have problems, that hurts our natural gas supply here as well. Right. And so we've got to do that part of it as in addition to making sure we increase the supply.
Well, look, I understand there's lessons to be learned, and you're saying that. I do think, though, it speaks for itself, decisions you've made about the grid, but also just that very simple thing about paving, right? Paving isn't some complex grid situation. Plowing a road is a basic thing. You were able to do it. Texas wasn't. We just saw the image there. I want to ask you, Governor, because before you were governor, you were a 3-term congressman. You were an impeachment manager in President Clinton's trial. So you know Congress, you know Washington. Former President Trump, as you know, has repeatedly attacked the Senate Minority Leader McConnell this week. The quote, as you now well know, right? He called him a dour, sullen, and unsmiling political hack. Manu Raju, our reporter, is saying McConnell plans to just ignore Trump. But Lindsey Graham, who, of course, you served with in Congress and you know well as an impeachment manager, is slamming McConnell. Here he is.
President Trump is the most consequential Republican in the party. If Mitch McConnell doesn't understand that, he's missing a lot.
Do you agree with Senator Graham to take the Trump side, or what do you think McConnell should do?
I couldn't disagree more with what Senator Lindsey Graham has said. He has said that the GOP cannot win in 2022 without former President Trump. He has indicated that he defines our party. And certainly he has a huge following in our party, but he cannot define us for the future. We have to define ourselves based upon our principles and what has brought us such success in the past, and what the electorate has responded to. And so we have to win in 2022 based upon our principles, our philosophy, and how we win the voters. Communication's a big part of it, and we have to give outreach to the Trump supporters. They're a huge part of our Republican base, and we have to identify with the issues they're concerned about, but it doesn't have to be defined by one person. It can be defined in many different ways, and we can energize those voters. So I disagree that that is an essential part of our election strategy for 2022.
And yet, as you know, Kevin McCarthy has gone down to Mar-a-Lago. We've just confirmed that Trump turned down Nikki Haley's request yesterday for a meeting at Mar-a-Lago, something he clearly leaked, but we've confirmed happened. Obviously, she was his former ambassador to the UN and is, seen as a favorite for at least a front runner in the next presidential election for the Republicans. Haley, as you know, Governor, had initially refused to call out the lie that the election was stolen. She told Politico, well, he believed it happened and he believed he was wrong, so it is what it is. She did change her tune after the deadly insurrection, saying his actions will be judged harshly by history, and now he refuses to even meet with her. Is that something that she should rue and regret, or no?
Well, I think it reflects the fact that it's hard to play the middle road on this. Yep. If in an ideal world, you can state the truth, which is that former President Trump bears a great deal of responsibility, key responsibility for what happened at our nation's Capitol on January 6th. That is the truth. We ought to be able to say that. At the same time, we don't have to ignore him for the future, but it's going to be difficult, and people are going to have to take a side on this. They're going to have to determine whether Trump is going to dictate the future of the party or whether our principles and many other leaders are going to shape the future of our party. And you've got to make that decision, and we should not be defined by one person, particularly a person who has made such an egregious mistake as what we saw happen on January 6th.
All right. Well, Governor, I thank you, and I appreciate you for coming out and saying those things so bluntly. Hopefully, some like Senator Graham will hear you, take your cue. Thank you, Governor Hutchinson.
All right. Thank you.